holy cow, this could be it. This could be it. So on the 100x Club here, on Friday's update, I said urgent Bitcoin bottom is in if this plays out. And on that show, I actually explained that we need to see a close above the 4-hour lag. And we just had that, like literally just now. So I genuinely believe that this can be the local bottom for crypto and Bitcoin. And I genuinely believe that we are going to see this rally into the daily order block, which I've been calling for throughout these daily updates, which by the way, take 10 minutes for you to watch. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗧𝗏. I've been here since 2016. I'm trading, I'm navigating the market with you. So if that sounds good, subscribe to the channel, but definitely continue watching this 10-minute video because it will change how you look at the market in the coming weeks. Super important. Okay, let's go. So throughout the entire updates that I did here, I've been saying that at some point we're going to see a reversal. I've actually been short. You could see in the community, I said there's an AMD happening, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to have a card up here. It's a beautiful strategy that you can use. And then I said, like clockwork, there was a rejection happening on the 15-minute chart. A beautiful rejection, accumulation, manipulation, distribution last night. I added to my short. Everything was fine. And then something happened. Something happened which was a close above these previous highs here. And then I thought to myself, okay, so there is a possibility, which we've been discussing here for a long time, there is a possibility that finally this will break above on the 4-hour and the hour leg. And then we had an hourly close, but I was like, I'm not really sure this is what it should be. But then the 4-hour closed above, which is super bullish. Like I can't tell you how bullish this is. Let me run through this. So number one, again, the way these are designed, by the way, if you have not been here, is that you have to watch this every day. Every day there is an update, except the weekends, or there is maybe 2 updates every day, so turn the bell notifications on and join in on the group. The family is literally free. I'm just sharing with you when I can't update you here on YouTube, that's where I update you. So go and check that as well. So with that said, I've been calling for this level. This is a very strong high here. Why? Because it resulted in a close below, massive red engulfing candles. There are multiple green candles, so marking the bottom there. So this is a very, very strong level that there was a lot of supply that sold into these levels down here, right? And so I said, if there is a possibility for this to be closing above, that means that there's more buying pressure down here than selling pressure up here, which again is extremely bullish. So that means that the moment this happened, I had to close my short positions. I actually posted it here. I closed my Bitcoin short at 1% minus, and I closed my Solana short position at 66% plus. You might be wondering, oh, 𝗧𝗏, but you gave back a lot of gains. Well, it's not a problem because the market structure was down until it wasn't. So now I have to look for long positions. Now, just to confirm this or add to this thesis, basically very simply, then before I add to this, I wanted to tell you the next leg is most likely going to the daily OB. So it doesn't mean that the ultimate bottom is in, and don't come back here and say, but 𝗧𝗏 said the bottom is in and I put my life savings in there, whatever. But I do believe that the probability of the bottom being in here at 2.82 trillion on total market cap and wherever the coins are, the local bottom on the 4-hour is, right? These levels and these levels are the local bottom, and that we are going to see a push into this 3.22 trillion mark and above, which is the daily equilibrium. Markets always retrace 50%. Also, guys, if you're new here and this sounds a little bit Chinese and you don't understand anything about it, please come back every day. I promise you, for the first day, it's going to be whatever. You have to learn the jargon. You have to learn the equilibrium. You have to learn all that stuff. I'm going to have a course coming soon, but until then, just bear with me here. Come back every day, put in the effort, 5 to 10 minutes, and then you'll be able to understand all this. But generally, markets retrace 50%, right? So this is on the daily chart. Markets retrace 50%. And this is what I've been calling for throughout these updates. I explained it a million times, so this is why I'm not going to dive into it. But basically what happens here is that markets retrace 50%, and this is what I'm waiting for, about a 7% pump on the total market cap, possibly 10, 15, 20% on some of the tokens, and that I want to catch, because this can go all the way up here, by the way. Like this can go all the way up here to the daily OB at 3.57, which would be about a 25%, 20% pump. I want to get in on the action, okay? So that said, I don't think this is the ultimate bottom. I think we're going lower. I think we're going down to the 80,000 region of Bitcoin at least. I do think the stock market needs to correct. But for now, for the Santa rally, we could see a push. There are multiple things that actually confirm that. One of the things is that there is a major expiration day on Friday, okay? Options expiration day. If you're not familiar with options, I'm going to drop a video, but very basically it says that you can bet on what the price is going to be of Bitcoin in the future, right? So I can say on December, 26th, Friday, the price of Bitcoin will be below $100,000, and therefore I want to buy below $100,000. So if the price is below $100,000, I have the opportunity to buy or sell on those levels. Call options, put options. Why does this matter? The reason why it matters is because you pay a premium to have the option to buy or sell Bitcoin at a certain price. If you say you want to buy Bitcoin at 100,000 and Bitcoin is 110,000, well, it's amazing. You can buy Bitcoin at 100,000, even though it's at 110,000 on that day. Or if the Bitcoin price, you say you want to sell Bitcoin at 100,000 and Bitcoin is down at 85,000, well, again, you made $15,000 profit because you can sell at 100,000. That's what the options do. But you pay a premium for that, and that premium is netted by the market makers or the big institutions who actually match you on that option trade. Why is this relevant? The reason why it's relevant is this. That there is the max pain point is 96,000. Now the market makers, if the max pain point meets, meaning you say you want to buy Bitcoin at 100,000, but the price of Bitcoin is 101,000. Obviously, you won't buy Bitcoin, so therefore your option becomes obsolete. And the premium that you paid for that option goes to the one who matched it, basically the market maker or the institution. So what these guys do is that they drive the price to the max pain point, which is they combine the put and the call options, and they say, what is the max pain point where these things where we would net most premium and wouldn't have to match the offer? Well, it's 96,000. Okay, so we need to drive the price of Bitcoin back to 96,000, and that is what most likely is going to happen. So they are going to drive the 96,000, and guess what level that is? That is almost exactly at the 50% lag on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin would rally from here, or because it will rally from here, we're looking at 98,700, which is the daily equilibrium, which is just around that max pain point I've been talking about. So that's one confirmation as well. The second is that US session has been a negative seller per session. Cumulative return per session. So if you look here, you see that the US is about 5%. The blue line is the US. You see it down here. So basically, they were about 5.75% on a weekly basis as a session. That means that the moment, and this is what I said here, the moment this shifts into positive, meaning we will see this week close bullish, I do think the sentiment will change overnight, because people will say, okay, net, US is a net buyer, and that's going to be incredible. Now, multiple things I want to point out here. One of them is, what am I really doing? So if I look at the ETH Bitcoin chart, ETH Bitcoin has made a new, we talked about this on the show when it happened, it made a new leg here. It made a new high on the daily. ETH Bitcoin measuring Bitcoin strength to ETH, basically. And then it had a 50% retrace, which is great. This leg is completed. Now, what happened now is that this leg, and when I say this leg, I mean this leg here, what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen? Like the show until this. So this leg needed a pullback, and that pullback happened right now to the 50%. Again, I talk about the 50% pullback all the time. So it happened now. Now I have to go down into the 4-hour chart and identify what levels I am looking at, and I can go and see, okay, so there was a close above here, which means there is another reversal signal happening here, and then a pullback. And again, I know, just come back every day. I know it might be confusing, but after the pullback, I need to confirm yet again what is the reversal happening after the pullback, and this is the level where it happened. Here, there is 3 consecutive candles. There is a close above there, meaning ETH BTC is primed. And when I say primed, I mean it. Primed for, I'm just looking here, primed for a 40-50% rally. Right here. This is what I'm looking at, okay? At least. So I do believe that Bitcoin will be outperformed by altcoins in the coming maybe weeks, you know, we'll see when. Weeks, definitely months, 2026, but for now, this could be the beginning of that rally. Now, Very important. Do I long Bitcoin? Do I long ETH? Do I long Solana? Whatnot? There is a couple of things, and now I'm going to give you a special trade as well at the end. But if you look at this, very important, I did close all my positions, okay? I have this Forex open. Do not look at this. This is stupid. We took it based on volume. We wanted to experiment it. So don't worry about this. I do think this will perform well, but do not take this trade because it's stupid, okay? But if you look at ETH BTC outperforming, the only thing I need to look at is what token do I need to long. Now you can go down on the lower time frame and whatever. Oh, by the way, super important. Sorry. Before I deep dive into that, what am I expecting today, right? So I am going to take some positions, and I am going to let you know about the positions that I'm taking. I'm gonna send all of them in the Telegram, the fam, link in the description and in the pinned comments. But ultimately, all I want to do is I'm waiting for New York Open, and I think New York Open will dump. Okay, so I do think the New York Open always dumps, and it will be scary. But this is the time I really want to layer in. So I'm going to add some positions here because there is a market structure shift. This can really start rallying. I don't want to miss it, all that. But if and when New York dumps down here around 2.9, this is where I want to really buy, okay? So this is what I really want to buy. I probably am not going to wait for a market structure shift, so I'm actually going to remove it from here. I'm going to put my stop loss down here below, and I'm just going to add to the position. Like, I'm going to start going much more heavy in here when and if this happens. If it doesn't, I'm just going to ride what I added here. Ultimately, I do believe we're going to reject and come back lower, so it's not like an ultimate bottom for me. So that said, what am I really looking at? I'm looking at long in ETH. ETH has a prime structure. So if I look at the 4-hour chart, ETH looks absolutely gorgeous. Again, as the ETH BTC chart, there is a close above here. Beautiful retrace. Push above there, 50%. There is a close below here, but it doesn't matter because it pulls back on the major leg on the higher time frame, and then we have a high close above here. So I'm looking at taking an ETH long stop loss down here at 2.778, but I'm gonna update you in the community. Solana, same thing, same structure, beautiful liquidation here, beautiful close above there. So I do think I am taking a Solana long as well, targeting at least 163, and we will see what else. I'm also thinking about taking a BNB trade. Again, BNB built up liquidity, looking at least a 20-25% move up to the thousands. So I'm looking at that, but I'm gonna update you again all this in the community literally just after I drop the show. Couple of important things. One of them is you could actually take a trade here on Kalshi. You could actually just jump in here and say, will Bitcoin cross 100,000? The reason why this is cool is because you can sell before this expires. You can sell before the end of the year. So if you believe the thesis that I just explained, the Bitcoin going to about 98,000, what happens is that these odds gonna go up drastically. So it can be like a 3-4x from here, 2-3x from here. So I'm also going to take a bet here at 15%, and I'm going to sell. So if I put 2,000, let's say $1,000 in here, and if it turns out, then we're gonna make 6,000, but we're not gonna wait for it because I don't think Bitcoin can cross 100,000 this year. But we're just gonna play for that, 30% pump, or 30% chance, and double our money quite easy. So this is one of the things that you could do, and I'm going to do as well. I will post it in the community. The second thing is that I'm going to take the trades, but I want to look at that again. I'm going to share it in the community. And one thing I wanted to share with you is the following. I do have this Christmas stream running, so we're actually sitting here on these ledgers, and we have much more Bitcoin ledgers, and we have $50,000 $50,000 Bitfunded accounts. So many stuff happening. So tomorrow I'm going to have a live show here on the 100 Club. I do have a bunch of legends joining, crypto influencers and KOLs and friends of mine. So tune in definitely. We are going to put up the show, but come and join in here because it will be an incredible show, and you can genuinely win $500,000 worth of prizes. So do that, guys. Big day. Oh, one more thing. There is a video talking about the bots, right? So I did have this power bot running, which is cool. It's doing fine. And also all the other bots. I am going to add to these bots. If you don't know what these bots are, I actually have a full video that you can watch how I bought the dip. This is the time. I mean it. Like, this is the time. I am going to add to them more. You can copy my settings and how I run this for the next leg up. There's a link in the description, but also if you just watch this video, I'm actually going to put it up here. It's not in a card, but I'm going to put it up here. This video is about how I bought the dip, why I bought the dip, and in the description of that video and in this video, you will be able to copy the settings of the bots. Again, I think this is an amazing opportunity. I hope New York dumps, and I hope that we rise to the moon. Let's go! See you tomorrow here. Take care.